Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the AICT ATAL workshop on advances in artificial intelligence. Uh, I take this opportunity to provide a brief introduction about Professor Mihir Narayan Mohanty, who is the convener of this FDP also. Let me give a short introduction about Dr. Mohanty. So Dr. Mohanty is presently working as a professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering of ITER, Siksha O Anusandhan deemed to be University, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. He has received his MTech degree in, pardon? Hello? Yeah, okay. Professor Mohanty has received his MTech degree in Communication System Engineering from Sambalpur University, Sambalpur, and has done his PhD work in applied signal processing. He has published over 400 papers in international and national journals and conferences, along with approximately 25 years of teaching experience. Professor Mohanty is an active member of many professional societies like IEEE, where he is a senior member now, IT, EMC and EMI Engineers India, ISCA, ACEEE, IAENG, CSI, and he is also a fellow of IETE and IE. His research interests include applied signal and image processing, biomedical signal processing, microwave communication engineering, and speech processing. I will now request Professor Mohanty to deliver his lecture. Over to you, Professor Mohanty.
Thank you very much for the introduction. So, very good evening to all of my colleagues, those who are the participants. So, here in this session, being it is titled as Advanced Techniques or Advancement of Artificial Intelligence. So, first we need to know the artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence. So again, splitting the same, we can say artificial, which is not actual, which is not real. But however, the intelligence can be applied. So the artificiality may have many things. But once we need to apply the intelligence, it will be even better than the earlier stage. Let us think some vehicle or the toy for our children that we can take. The child can play with the toy. However, it needs to play by the child. But whenever the same toy will be automated, we can use some of the sensors. The toy can move automatically. It can blow the light or blow the horn. It can change its direction. So here we can say the intelligence has been applied to that particular toy. Where to move, it needs to move forward or backward, or take the turn. So this is the basic example of this artificial intelligence. So if we introduce this AI in short form, you can say in which fashion, where we need to apply. So it is a branch of science, that you can say also the branch of technology that can assist the machine for solution of any complex problem. As some of the complexity develops and some of our leaders or seniors can solve the problem, make it simplified. So similarly, if the machine, if the system, if the object can learn that and it can solve some of the problem, some of the complex problems, then we can say the intelligence has been transferred to the machine or to the system, to the object. So this is what we can say as the next generation technology, because nowadays you can see that is a unmanned vehicles mostly are there for security purpose. There is no necessity to keep the security guard. So many automation techniques including voice, image and video have been developed. Even if we can make the home, make our own home as automated, that term, many terms are used nowadays in technology that we can say as the smart home. So this we can say as the next generation technology, where the artificial intelligence has the major role to play it with. Makes the man or makes the society or makes people comfort, easy. It may be the area of engineering, the area of medicine, the area of finance sector. You can think of stock market. You can think of some marketing things, how to predict, what to predict, which one is to be purchased, which has the rating is high, and the medical facilities to support the health system to the human being. So nowadays the surgery, we can say that is robotic surgery, the specific what needs to operated, that part only will be under surgery. No need to make the body fully cut, or we cannot say any open surgery, rather than we can say the particular place to be operated, so that the disease or the particular problem can be solved and the patient can be comfort. So where there is comfort, where there is easiness, so there is automation, and where there is automation, there is the application of artificial intelligence. As I have told you, it may be a toy for our children, it may be the health condition or critical condition of a patient, it can be surveillance, but everything, each application is developed by engineers. So that's what the statement is always true, that engineers are the world makers. So their intelligence they used to utilize through the object, through the system. That we say the intelligence, the natural intelligence from human being is transferred to the system. And the system acts like human being. But the system or the computer or the device has not its own intelligence. It is the human intelligence that is applied to that, and based on that, many things can be processed. So the areas of AI and some dependencies. This is very basic thing. The search technique that may be applied to natural language processing or NLP. The search technique may be utilized through machine learning. The search technique may utilize logic and knowledge representation. And once the machine learning is applied, because machine learning is the part of artificial intelligence. I will show you, I will explain you again. So that can be again applied the vision engineering or image and video, voice and natural language processing. And once the logic can be well planned and utilized, at that time the machine used to work as the human being. Which one we can say the robotics. The technology is robotics. And based on knowledge representation, we can say these systems, these artificial intelligence based systems are expert systems. So as I have told you, the artificial intelligence in a single line is the capability of a machine to imitate intelligent human behavior. To imitate what exactly the human is doing, the same thing can be done by the machine if such. Then only you can say that is intelligence, and that intelligence being operated by the machine, you can say it is artificial intelligence. And these advancements and the technology still growing for all these sectors where the technology and engineering applications and brains are to be utilized along with those financial or account sector, along with the society, along with the support of the physicians or the doctors. Otherwise, the engineer cannot say what is the disease. The characteristics needs to know, and what to catch, what to leave, that part will be designed by, that is the design of agent, that part will be designed by the engineers or technocrats. This AI is accomplished by studying how human brain thinks, how humans learn, how humans decide, and how they work to solve a problem. So this how answer is artificial intelligence. So that if it will learn properly, then only the outcome of the study is used as a basis of developing intelligent systems, intelligent softwares, intelligent behavior. So once the intelligence is applied or utilized or transferred, those can be considered in speech recognition. Understanding natural language regarding image recognition or video recognition. So where we need to utilize this or use this, those may be the mobile devices applications. Nowadays, the smart speaker, smartphone, smart car, smart city, smart home. And another basic example, probably you might know this, the Amazon Echo and Alexa. If someone is using Apple, then Siri. So all these things we can say, and according to our voice, the machine will be operated. Smart TV, you can say the program, it will open that specific channel. You can tell something to your computer or device, it will process accordingly. So again, it needs to enhance. Again, it needs to process faster. Again, it needs accuracy. Again, it needs to reject the false positive. So that needs the advancement, that needs the human intelligence to apply in such a manner that the device will work as the human being wants. Similarly, the Microsoft Word and Grammarly.com, you can get Grammarly software, and the interactive voice response, that is IVR, those are based on the natural language processing. And for image and video, the camera must focus the face to recognize. So nowadays, it is focused on the iris, only from the eye section. Now we can see after this COVID, so most of the people using the mask, but most of the 95% of people, to save their health, to save their body, they use mask. And if someone is with mask and helmet, even if with glasses, it will be difficult to recognize who exactly the human being is. He may be known to us, he may be unknown to us. So at that part, it needs security. You see, the once something is recognized well means we are highly
Sir, we can't hear anything. Sir.
Sir, we can't hear anything.
Hello. Is it audible now?
Audible, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir, you are not audible. Some network issue may be there.
Again, you are not audible, sir.
Dear sir, you are not audible.
Hello. Suji. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So why this is going on? I cannot understand. Is it visible and audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible and also audible.
Okay, fine, fine. So I have told you some of the application and technology where we need to develop. And this artificial intelligence, you can say it covers machine learning, and within it the deep learning, which one is most advanced technology. So AI was first coined in 1956, but only theory. But in 80s and 90s, once the neural network comes to the screen, which we can say the machine learning, the computational power was not utilized properly, but the growing stage was slow. It was not stopped. Later 90s, the neural network has the excellent performance, which we term as machine learning. Same, learning intelligence or learns intelligence who artificially the machine. So gradually our desire increases. We need every part. So we need accuracy. Simultaneously, we need fast processing. So there deep learning techniques have been invented, and it is going on and is applying in almost in all the areas. So we can say the branch of civil, branch of mechanical, branch of electronics, branch of electrical, branch of computer science. So it is deep learning is the technique. We can say it is just like HD. So everywhere it can be utilized, and its performance found better than the traditional intelligence technique or traditional machine learning. And also the advancement of this deep learning, though it is coming slowly, the devices through Xilinx, through Raspberry Pi, through some other microcontroller or some other processors, our researchers used to work on it. And some of the part have been implemented also. So we can say this machine learning or deep learning are the subset of AI. So everywhere the artificiality is there. So machine learning is the subset of AI, whereas deep learning is the subset of machine learning. So ultimately we can say the deep learning, machine learning or deep machine learning all belong to artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. So if you will think how we can represent the same. Now imagine what we need to do earlier to doing that particular job or particular task. We need to think. So two parts are there, think and act. Think and act, two entities. Similarly, system and human, another two entities. So if we think positive, then we can do positive. If we do positive, that means we thought positive. And if the sense is balanced, at that time we can say the process is rational. That is very important. Unless otherwise, the process or the thought process or the act process is not rational or irrational, at that time the outcome is very poor. The social being may tell me, let us say I am highly rational. So the social being or in the society, people may say to me are either antisocial or unsocial, because my behavior is not rational. So because of this rationality, I may face the problem in the society. So similarly, we can throw that particular system. If suppose you can think one glucometer, you may take the test of blood sugar in the hospital. It may show you very low or marginal, whereas if our system used to show it very high, then gradually we may avoid that particular system, because our machine, sugar testing machine, acts irrationally. That we cannot say. It can be useful. So whatever the intelligence, whatever the topic we are discussing, artificial intelligence, only thing is we are making it in action. That is why I am putting it red. I will discuss it fast. So whatever the algorithm we are putting, whatever the mathematics we are putting, whatever the behavior we are providing, whatever the learning process we have made to the machine, just like the child. If the child can learn at home systematically, then the child can act systematically. The child can behave systematically. The child can think systematically. So that is what is the learning process. But we people, what we are doing? So this algorithm, that algorithm, in the Google, that algorithm is there. My friend has done that. So let us apply that. So before applying the same algorithm, we must think it. Yes, we can get some result. That is what I am telling. Action. I am discussing about action. System that act like human being. That is what in recent stage we are doing. We are not thinking what needs and how it will act. The system that acts like human is Turing test, balancing test, checking test, how it works. So by Kurzweil, he told the art of creating machines that perform functions that require intelligence when performed by the people. You can think the cycle. You can think the cycle to motorcycle. Then the development of motorcycle like bike, speed bike, again for rain and summer, it has been created to car. So similarly, the creation of these machines, creation of these objects that perform functions, what we require, what type of intelligence we have given to it. And similarly, Rich and Knight, he has one very good book on artificial intelligence. If computer science people, I think they might know this. The study of how to make computers do things at the moment people are better. So that means, finally, I will say, who is better, human being or machine? Let us discuss these four things. So Turing test approach, how? Suppose some questionnaires are there. I am calling to the railway station or the airport regarding that, we can say the railway inquiry or telephone inquiry. Hello? Hello?
Sir, audible only, sir.
Okay. The human questionnaire, that is from the railway station or somewhere, some like your thing, what that the big V, Amitabh Bachchan used to make that, oh, kaun banega crorepati. So computer used to answer that. That is artificial intelligence. So I don't know if the questionnaires are there, the number of questions are there. On the other side, I don't know whether the human being used to answer me or the machine. If the machine can, then we can say the intelligence is good. And being it is the voice communication, we can say it is teletype, remote communication. So at that time, we can say the system or the computer must behave intelligently. So intelligent behavior. So achieve human level performance in all cognitive tasks. So with respect to whatever our desire, if the system can provide us, that is what is the research, that is what is the technological advancement. If the system can provide us the same according to our desire, then only we can say its behavior is perfect and the Turing test is fine. That means the machine can be intelligent. So these cognitive tasks include, what are those tasks? Natural language processing, I have told. Knowledge representation, some storage. Just we are going to home and our mother or our spouse used to take care of the dresses and all the shoes and everything. Or else, how to keep, where to keep, what to keep, and when to keep. So that is the effectiveness and efficiency. So that is the knowledge, that is the basic knowledge that we can represent what to deal, how to deal, when to deal, and why to deal. So it relates to automated reasoning, to retrieve and answer questions using the stored information. So that means the storage must be efficiently stored the knowledges. From that knowledge base, the system can extract and perform well. So that learning process is machine learning. That means even if the new data for validation, if it will adapt the new circumstances also, that means we can say the intelligence have been applied. The intelligence have been applied and the artificial intelligence works well through the machine, that we can say the machine intelligence is good. So another two more issues. One is computer vision and robotics. So where to move, to whom to serve, what to serve. Likewise, the robot will do everything. So out of those 4 parameters, we have discussed regarding system acts like human. If the system acts like human, we can say it is artificial intelligence. But system can think like human. That is the major question. The thought process of the machine equal to thought process of human is the challenge, and that needs the advanced application in the field of cognitive intelligence, you can tell, or machine intelligence, you can say, or you can tell that is artificial intelligence. The systems that think like humans, that is what is called cognitive modeling. Cognitive modeling. So humans are observed from inside. Suppose I am silent, you cannot say. I am silent due to angry. I am silent because I am thinking something deep. I am silent because I am offended. Or I am silent because to do something. That is the psychological test. So the inside of human being is not visible. Human being may tell something, simultaneously may think something. Or what they used to think, they may not express the same, they can filter and tell a little. So that is introspection versus psychological experiments. This thing is very common to catch the thieves or the culprits. The police station used to take the psychometric test, making unconscious state. They used to extract the voices through interaction. So now you can think. So if the machine can think like that, at that time you can say it is cognitive science. So the thought process is still lags behind, and the exciting new effort to make computers think, that is the advancement. And machines with minds in the full and literal sense, then only we can say yes, artificial intelligence is somehow mature. The intelligence has been transferred to the machine, the cognitive science, the cognitive intelligence, the machine intelligence. So that is the big challenge. And this automation activities or other actions are possible, though fully not possible, but still work is going on. But regarding the human thought, so think, act, and decide to solve the problem. That is was told by Bellman. So this is the major advancement and challenge in artificial intelligence field. So once it can be thought, then that thought process is rational or irrational. That is another important aspect. So think whether it is rational or irrational. In general example, I can say, I am fighting for a case in the court. So some of the part can be observed by lawyers, both the lawyers. They used to analyze, they used to represent before the judge, the honorable judge used to decide at that time. Nobody knows what is right, what is wrong. Because the laws, Indian laws or Indian penal codes are like that. Based on that, if the advocate, if the lawyer represent nicely before the honorable judge, based on that, we get it. But can we say that is rational? Can we say that we need to find at that time the culprit may escape, the innocent may entangle? But it is the law, same case, the laws of thought. So even if humans are not always rational, that depends on our emotion, in which emotional state we are living at which time. So at present time, what you can observe in your day-to-day life, it may be in your family, it may be in your office or college. If the principal or dean is in good mood, whatever you ask for the leave, you can get it. Nobody will see that how it is authenticated. That means it binds law or not. And even if you are in correct situation, even if you need the leave, if the dean or the HOD is not in a mood, in off mood, they may not grant your leave. So at that time, the action of human is irrational. So that is why I am telling it is always human being is not rational. So the rationalism defined in terms of logic, it may be law in the court, it may be law in the society, it may be law within the university or college, it may be. So that means whatever the rules or laws or logics have been developed, if somebody can put logic in existing law and represent well, they may be escaped. So this rationalism or this rational term defined in terms of logic, and logic cannot express everything, as I have told. Same case in technology also, that is called as uncertainty. That is why the topic probability and statistics is there. That is why randomness is there in mathematics or in engineering or in technology. So logic cannot express everything. At that time, we need to verify the outcome, the probable outcome. So that is what used to think, that is what you decide whether it is rational or irrational. So logical approach is sometimes not feasible in terms of computation time. It needs guidance. So all these facts or all these parts, I told you, everywhere there is necessity of guidance. If the guidance is proper, then the action will be proper. And even if the ill thoughts are there, so gradually that will be revived and responded as positive thought. So the study of these mental facilities through the use of computational model, as I have told, if the system can think, then only you can say it may be rational or partially rational or highly rational, but no way you can say it is 100% rational. And the study of computation that make it possible to perceive, reason and act, this thing can make the system rational. This is also the advancement and challenge to work with. And the last part, if the thinking process is okay, if the thought process is fine, if the thought process is positive, then the action will be positive. If the system can think rationally, get the logic rationally through some supervision or through some guidance, then only the system will act rationally. The system will act rationally. So that is what the rational agent, that is most important to develop. That is the agent, the system. The rational behavior, doing the right thing in the right time, the right thing that which is expected, maximize the goal achievement given available information. Giving answer to the question is acting. So the answers can be proper, the answers can be heart-touching, the answers must be logical, then only you can say that is rational. And if that is rational, then the action will be rational. So, but I don't care whether a system replicates human thought process, makes the same decision as human, uses purely logical reasoning. So that is important. And that is the challenge. The logic, only part of rational agent, not all rationally. Because sometimes the logic cannot reason a correct conclusion. So logic may deviate the path. Logic may provide us different result out of our programming or coding. If we can put the logic same, you can see some problem can be solved. If then else, the same problem can be solved with the loop condition that is for. But both the way, the time consumed is not equal. The consumption of time is not equal. The result cannot be equal. And that based on what type of logic. So that is why I am telling, logic cannot reason a correct conclusion. At that time, some specific human knowledge, that is guidance, is necessary. Whether the computer should do the program like this or execute the program in this logic or in that logic. So which logic will be efficient, which logic will be with less time, which logic will perform best. At that time, the guidance of human being to the machine is required. And same para is in society also, in our family also. Some guidance is necessary to think rationally and act rationally. That means the behavior will be perfect. It covers more generally different situations of problem, compensate the incorrectly reasoned conclusion. So two advantages are there. It is more general than using logic only. Why? Because the domain knowledge along with the logic is there. So that means whatever the learning procedure that is already stored, whatever the data we have fed that is kept in the knowledge base, and what the logic we are applying, that logic with that domain knowledge, it is utilized. It allows extension of the approach with some more scientific methodologies. So agent is an entity. These are the terms in AI that perceives and acts, that you can say the system. This course is about to design the rational agents, agent and rational agent. So you can say the percept histories to action, the database, the knowledge base and logic provide the action. So P star, the function in such a manner that P star, the perceived histories, will be converted to action. For any given class of environment, we seek the agent or class of agents with best performance. This limitation make perfect rationally unachievable. So design best program for the given machine resources. Given machine resources. So finally you can define this AI, study of ideas that enable computers to be intelligent. And it is a part of computer science concerned with the design of computer system that exhibit the human intelligence. That is what is artificial intelligence. And it has two major roles. Study the intelligent part concerned with human and represent, not only study. You can study, but you cannot represent in the examination. We cannot represent in behavior. We can represent as action. So that needs represent those actions using computers. So this knowledge representation and reasoning, this is second most important concept in AI. If you are going to act rationally, then we must have some way of describing that environment and drawing inferences from that representation. Because our objective is the system must be rational and intelligent. So that means the behavior must be rational behavior. If you are going to act rationally in our environment, then we must have some way of describing that environment and drawing inferences from that representation. How do we describe what we know about the world? No. How we can describe the same concisely? How we describe so that we can get a hold on the right piece of knowledge? What we need for it? How do we generate the new pieces of knowledge that is derived? And how do we deal with uncertain knowledge? So that comes under reasoning. So knowledge may be declarative, may be procedural. So declarative knowledge deals with factoids questions or facts. Suppose we can say, what is the capital of India? At that time, it is the fact that is New Delhi. But procedural knowledge deals with how. How New Delhi? So procedural knowledge is sometimes important than declarative knowledge. In the book it is written, you can ask to our children, if you will tell something logical, they used to say, no, 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 no. Our mom told, this is correct. That is logical. And that is declarative. No way they will receive the parents, because they are adapted with their schooling system and the teachers. Similarly, we have seen some of the books, some logics have been given. We are just expressed before the students. So that is declarative. So that is what is the difference between teaching and research. But research is procedural knowledge. Procedural knowledge. And this procedural knowledge can be embedded in declarative knowledge. Once we can create something with some sort of procedures that is written, that you can say your book has been published or your paper has been published. So you have already mentioned there why you have taken that and how you have done that. So that is kept. Your procedure is embedded and declared that. Even if we are writing the paper, we are citing some other paper, because their work, their procedural work is declared and we are adopting their points. So procedural knowledge can be embedded in the declarative knowledge. So next one is planning. So best statement is, man proposes, God disposes, most of the cases. So most of the cases, what we plan, that may not be in action. The boy at the time of examination may plan, this is the time, and this time I will read this, and that time I will read this, but practically it is not possible. So given a set of goals, construct a sequence of actions that achieves those goals, as I am telling, the examination. So construct a sequence of action. Similarly, in the program code, you can make some subroutines, some functions to execute your main program. Why? To achieve the goal upon very large search space. But most parts of the world are independent of most other parts. All the parts may not dependent. As in the beginning I have told, dependent and independent. But most of the part is independent in the world. Upon start with the goal and connect them to actions, difficult, very difficult. No necessary connection between order of planning and order of execution. So how we plan, we may act, we may execute it, we may not. But very rare case, if you plan and execute in time, in proper way, at that time you can say your planning is excellent and the action at the time of learning process is excellent and the action is good and rational. If a system is going to act appropriately, truly appropriate, then it must able to change its action in light of experience. As example, how do we generate new facts from old? That is important. And that is research. How do we generate the new concept? Unless otherwise, we cannot understand the earlier work. Unless otherwise, we can understand the literature, the theory, the earlier knowledges, and we cannot think properly, we cannot think rationally, then we cannot create, we cannot derive the new facts, we cannot derive the new, you cannot generate the new concepts. So how do we learn to distinguish different situations again in new environment? So these things is under learning, and once it has been learnt well, then it will interact with the environment. It may be social environment, it may be family environment, it may be research environment, it may be the academic environment, it may be the different parts of the globe. In order to enable intelligent behavior, we will have to interact with our environment. So properly intelligent systems may be expressed to accept sensory inputs. So how? Either we used to listen, or we can see the action. Those are the sensory inputs. Or 5 sensory inputs of human being is there: touch, smell, vision, sound, and taste. But in machine case, the same sensory input you can apply, though it cannot smell. So interact with human, understand the language, recognize the speech, generate the text.
अपनी इधर problem.
Hello. Is it fine, sir?
Yes, sir. You can continue, sir.
So interact with human, understand the language, recognize the speech, generate the text, speech or graphics, that means vision and sound. Now we can modify the same with thought process, as I have told you, with rational thought to rational action. That is what is robotics. That means the human robot can think, can act, subject to condition. If the logics, if the learning procedure, if the learning algorithm is perfect, then it can modify the environment to the robotic environment. So this is what is in between the two parts nowadays, machine learning, and earlier it was artificial intelligence, and again it is in new born baby, that is computational intelligence. So ultimately it needs to learn well, learn rationally, to act perfectly, and to outperform. So many things are there, though we have discussed these things, the applications of AI. First one is, you can say, the automated customer support. So one device is chatbot, that is online experience, and greatly enhanced by chatbots. they increase the user retention by sending reminders and notifications. So it is customer support. So how the material is, how the product is, what to similar types of things nowadays they use to chat us or message us. They offer instant answers if we need some questions, if we have some problem. So these things are the upselling opportunities to personalized approach. So the same application is through the artificial intelligence and machine learning. Another similar case is personalized shopping experience. So implementation of artificial intelligence makes possible. You can browse your net. If you find anything repeatedly 1 or 2 days, you can see once you browse, those things will appear automatically. So that is, so similarly the products in Amazon or some online shopping. So based on your purchase, based on your browsing history, they used to support you. These are the similar products. That is because of artificial intelligence. And in particular time, you can nowadays your mobile charging time is over, so automatically it beeps. So similarly, the talk time is reduced or zero, so it beeps or it gives us alert message. So time alert message, visuals, these things. And in healthcare, as I have told you, in medicine, in e-health, in IoT, that we can say the internet of medical things. So many things are there. Most of the time we may not seek the advice of the doctors directly, indirectly, or through this artificial intelligence system or through this internet of medical things. We may find some medicines, we may find some suggestions, and the e-health, suppose somebody is in a remote place, they may get served with all equipped good medical facility, and this is because of the artificial intelligence. So marketing, healthcare, and finance, most of the people are involved with mutual funding. They need to know which fund is increasing, which fund is decreasing. They may switch over from one place to another place. So similarly, stock market, how it is encouraged, what is the approximated gain or loss in last 6 months, and what can be the opportunity for future 1 year or 2 years. So that is the automated advisors powered by AI, or best portfolio, as I have told, or stock based on preferences. Then actionable reports, where to need the relevant financial data. Then smart car and smart drones. Nowadays, you can say that is unmanned aerial vehicles, UAV. So autonomous vehicles running on the road, that means driverless car. So similarly, autonomous drones, those are the budding examples. So mostly we have seen this either to support, either to drought area or in a flood area. These automated drones used to capture the pictures, capture the images and inform, and wherever it is necessary, the support can be given through these drones. And this is because of another application of artificial intelligence. Similarly, nowadays, if you can move from one place to another place, you can open your mobile with Google Map. So that is machine intelligence, that is AI enabled mapping. It scans the road information and utilizes the algorithm to identify the optimal route to take. It may be in bike, it may be in car, it may be in bus, wherever. Some unknown place we are moving. Nowadays it need not to ask anyone. So what is the track on our mobile or what is the path on our mobile it is showing, we can move accordingly. So that is regarding the travel and navigation application of AI. And this social media, most of you have been already involved in these cases regarding Facebook and this WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Instagram, all those things because of machine intelligence or artificial intelligence. These are the application. So in each and every application, we can enhance, we can make ourselves comfort, we can make the advancement of AI. The smart home devices, what is, you may be at your office or in your college, what is going on at your home, what needs to take care, what need not to take care, everything we can control from your distant place. Last but not least, the creative arts. That is, AI-powered technologies can help the musician to create new things also. So you see, the fashion technology, the music, the day-to-day life, the movement, the travel, the social media, the health condition, and your finance utilization, everywhere there is AI and AI application, and every part needs the most important part I have told you, the thought, rational thought to act, to behave properly. So that needs the advancement, and in each application we need to develop those algorithms, we need to develop those devices to develop all these things. And since the machine learning or the recent machine learning, that is deep learning, is the part of it, I will discuss in another part of the lecture. So for today, I am stopping here. So if you have any question, please raise.
Participants are requested to ask any questions if they have. If you have any queries, this is the time to ask. Please utilize this time to clarify your doubts.
Okay, then let us leave for today. Tomorrow again we'll meet.
Thank you, sir, for your excellent talk on artificial intelligence. I'm sure the participants would have gained a lot of insights regarding this subject, and some sort of interest might have been generated in their minds.